Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. And despite all the different interpretations, comics, and universes, Spider-Man still is at the top of my listing when it comes to superheroes in both Marvel and DC. But with that being said, you cannot, under any circumstances, let this man get the black suit symbiote. Because the moment you do, this nigga starts moving different. And if you don't believe me, I may actually compile an entire catalog of the things this man has said and or done while he had the symbiote. So sit back and relax, get a snack, and without further ado, let's talk about that damn Spider-Man. Now, first things first, we gotta talk about the spectacular Spider-Man. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this might be the best superhero show ever made. It is up there with Justice League Unlimited in the original Batman series. I ain't gonna lie, this series was tough as hell. Binging this show is like consuming crack. I just can't stop. But with that being said, the symbiote was affecting this man OD. It started out with him just figuring out that he no longer needs the web shooters as the symbiote makes the ink by itself. And I ain't gonna hold you, the black suit in this show looks clean as hell. And this goes for every other interpretation. The black suit is always saucy, but I don't know, it's just something about this show's art style that makes it even colder to look at. And this man wasted no time. He immediately started doing what he does best, spitting game. This nigga was saucing up Black Widow. Boy, I see you. And who can blame him? Black Widow about bad as hell. And I ain't gonna lie, if I was Spider-Man, it would take an entire US military platoon to pull me out of her. Alright, my fault.
Who's a freaky ass nigga?
But I ain't gonna lie, my boy Spider-Man was moving crazy. He was packing these criminals up, saving the streets of New York, putting in work, and everything just seemed to be good. However, the longer he wore the symbiote, the more twisted this nigga became. He got to a certain point to where this man started cussing out his own friends, people he's known for years, because of his situation.
I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. And you got the power to change that, Kev. Nobody else. You.
He was talking to them like, look, I don't give a fuck about your kindness. If y'all niggas ain't willing to cuff up a couple bucks, then I don't need to be here right now.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
And word for word, bar for bar, he said this. What am I even doing here? We don't need friends. We need money. Okay, Peter Bag Chaser Parker, I see you. But on a more serious note, this man was tweaking out. It got so bad that Flash Thompson, this man's biggest hater, had to check him.
They sell tickets to that? Or can anyone who thinks you're a jerk attend?
Don't push me, Eugene. I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, your aunt's sick. Poor puny Parker. Even Sally feels bad for you. But not me. If you're hanging up on the She Geek, that proves you're still a stuck-up egghead. A guy who can't even see when his friends are trying to help.
And Spider-Man even says it himself. When Flash Thompson starts speaking sense, you know you're down in the deep end. And we don't even need to talk about when this nigga folded the Sinister Six while asleep. Yes, I kid you not. This nigga folded New York's greatest supervillains while taking a nap. Oh nah, I am sick. But this is only the first exhibit of the black suit menace that is Spider-Man. And now we gotta talk about Bully Maguire. Now, if you see my sauciest characters in fiction video, you already know that this nigga be moving different. The moment this man got the black suit, he started posing like this. Like, dog, who is this nigga feeling like? He was out here attaching himself to random buildings, checking himself out. This how niggas feel when they wear a brand new fit. And he wasted no time. He immediately hopped down where Sandman was and got brought up out of here. And I ain't gonna lie, who can be mad at him? This is the man that basically killed his uncle. And if I'm Spider-Man in that position, I'm smoking him too. What are we talking about? But as the time went on in the movie, this nigga started tweaking out more and more. Like, for instance, this nigga was out here doing the absolute most to Mary Jane. This man showed up at one of her parties, started playing the piano. Nobody asked for yo dork ass to get on the ox. And then when Mary Jane confronted him, he smacked Mary Jane. And then this nigga was walking through the street dancing, thinking he's that guy. Whole time he looked about lame as hell. And I ain't gonna lie, that's my favorite part of Billy Maguire's interpretation of Spider-Man, because he fits the dork aspect of this character to the most extreme. I already talked about Spectacular Spider-Man, but he don't really come off as a dork for real. In fact, I say he's one of the saucier interpretations of the character. But Billy Maguire, this nigga's so lame, bro. Like, look at this.
Hey, you have blue eyes. I didn't notice without your glasses. You just get contacts?
Oh my god, bro. Hell no, man. Weird. Buddy.
You're weird.
What is that shot?
Step back one-legged. What kind of shot is that? Have you ever shot that shot?
This nigga can lift train cars, fight New York supervillains, but he can't have a normal response to a girl. And that's not even all. He was risen up Betty Boo, you feel me? Out here saucing up Gwen Stacy, and I ain't gonna lie, who can blame him? Gwen Stacy about bad as hell. And this nigga pushed Eddie Brock so far that this man went to church and prayed on his downfall. Yes, I kid you not. He quite literally went to the house of the Lord and said, I ain't gonna lie, God, I ain't gonna ask you for a lot, but please, bro, just kill that nigga Peter Parker, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I'll be broke, I'll be homeless, but you gotta kill that nigga, bro. Like, I hate Peter Parker. Like, god damn, nigga. Shaboing boing, get the dick out your mouth. Do you know how much you gotta hate a nigga to pray on his downfall in the house of God? Like, nah, this is absurd work. And with that being said, we wrap up that segment, and now we gotta get to the OG Spider-Man cartoon. I ain't gonna lie, this black suit might be one of the worst ones. When he was fighting Rhino, that boy Rhino talking about some, hey man, don't send me back to jail. And this nigga Peter Parker says, who said anything about jail? And I ain't gonna lie, if I'm Rhino, I shit right up my back. You're telling me this black figure pulls up on me, starts whipping my ass, and it says jail? Nigga, you gotta beat the woo. Like, oh no, I'd be terrified. And this isn't even to mention how this man was talking once he finally started getting used to the suit. Like, peep game.
Don't you yahoos get it? The Black Spider-Man is unbeatable!
Like, dog, who is this nigga feeling like? And I swear to you, the voice actor for Spider-Man in this show was putting his heart and soul into every voice line, and especially when it comes to Shocker. Now, I am not gonna lie, Shocker is not a high tier villain. This nigga is a C tier villain. So there is no reason why this man Spider-Man is tweaking out so hard. I'm 95% sure y'all have already seen the OG clip, so I'm just gonna do a new version myself. Peep game. Shocker, this shit weak as fuck. I'm gonna take that ass, Shocker. No, Bug, no. We talked about this. The booty is mine. It belongs to me. You cannot take my booty. The booty's mine. It belongs to me. You cannot take my booty. Oh, Shocker, I'm coming for that ass. Get back here, Shocker. Shocker! You can't escape these strokes. I'll straight to the end of the earth. Like, dog, what is wrong with this nigga, bro? And before we end off this video, we gotta talk about how he be moving in the Insomniac games. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really played the games yet. I've been too focused on making videos for y'all niggas. But from the clips I've seen from both Blank, Code, and Zeph, this nigga needs to be stopped. The moment this nigga got the black suit, he didn't know how to act. He talking about some, you're gonna wish you never came to New York. Like, nigga, calm down. This nigga acting like Zoo York is his own backyard. Like, dog, nigga, ain't you broke? He acting like he owned the whole damn city. Nigga, you don't even own your own house. What are you yapping about? And we not even gonna talk about how this nigga was moving against the lizard. He was moving so vile that Miles Morales started calling him out. Hey, yo, Spider-Man, you just gonna let them people die? Man, them niggas be alright. Yo, Peter, you can't say that word, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What's wrong? It's just a word, right? Man, I ain't got time for this. Hey, yo, we got a tracker on the lizard, so we can run duos and get him out of here. Nah, that ass is mine. Hey, yo, pause, bro. Nah, resume. Like, nigga, what the fuck? This nigga was moving about freaky as hell in these games. And I got an example, and it involves the lizard again. In the boss battle, the moment you beat the lizard, this nigga climbs on top of the lizard, pins him down, and then closes his mouth like, oh, nah, he about to give this nigga back shot. Oh, no. But in short, you can never let this nigga Peter Parker get the black symbiote, because the moment he does, he starts doing the absolute most. But with that being said, Spider-Man is still my top 1 hero. Go subscribe to my other channel. 100,000 by the end of the year. Let's keep growing.